And this isn't even my final form! Welcome to the Review Tuesday. We're talking anime. This is a review for Season 2 or The Succession, whatever you want to call it. Let me know in the comments below, did you love the first season? Were you excited? How long have you been waiting? It feels like we've been waiting forever for Season 2, but IG Productions have finally released the next batch. So I'm going to talk about it. Let me know your thoughts about the first season below. Do give me a thumbs up because it does help out analytics massively. So if you want more of these sort of anime reviews, just talking about the love for anime, I do a lot of that on this channel, apart from all, streaming service stuff. When Keith is abducted and a friend from Koku's past resurfaces, Killer Bee returns and everyone is pulled into a conspiracy involving the crown. Okay, so we've been waiting, I think, over 2 years. It feels like a very long time, and they've only given us 6 episodes, which is very frustrating and unusual for an anime like this. So IG Productions, the reason why they've taken so long is that they've been working on 9 other productions themselves, and so they only have a handful of staff working on this one, which is part of the reason why it's taken so long. And so when we got them, I'm sure, like me, you were excited because the first season I just thought was incredible because of that sort of the change, the juxtaposition that it goes from. You think it's a serial killer sort of investigation. Cops play a big part in this. Keith, is a fantastic character with a very dark past. It's a big part of the first season's storyline. And then we get the superhero, the abilities from these guys, these kids that have grown up with these abilities and seen that they're being used and controlled and created on both sides, and everybody wants to use them. And then that starts playing, and we get those massive, very cool fight sequences, which I loved. Was one of my favorite parts. But when you get to the action, you need a reason to have the action. So in the first season, it really felt like we had that. All our, the characters we started to really get involved with, some nice backstory from Keith and even the cops, Yuna, Lily, they all started developing. We got some of that backstory. And so we're like, oh, okay, so what are they going to do for second season? The second season is basically a royal affair. Something happens to Keith, he gets kidnapped, so we get the cops, Yuna, we have Koku. They're all trying to find out what's happened to Keith. Keith is doing his thing in his mind. He has a very dark backstory. He has a revelation, which I didn't think they revealed in season 1 about the person that he loved. And I was like, oh, really? Okay, cool. That's weird. But in the whole of these 6 episodes, I think we only get one decent action sequence, fight sequence, which may have been in the beginning. It does start off weirdly as well. There's a weird banjo score sequence, and I thought, what on earth am I watching? What have they done to my anime? And then it gets back into the kind of investigation, which is a lot of fun. We have some background story kind of development with the other characters, the other super beings, I guess you would call them, and you start seeing how they're involved with the church, and all of that is quite good. The score then kind of changes to the tones of that investigation that we're used to from season 1. The voice acting in the original language, I thought, again, is quite good. I love the color palette, the tones. It all kind of harks back to the original. The Killer Bee storyline is still there as well. However, when we get to the end, I think this is like a massive way to alienate your audience, because the way it ends, it's gonna, it pissed me off, to be honest. It's the first time I've been in a while watching an anime. There's one anime I watched called 800 Chronicles that's on Netflix as well, and that pissed me off just because of how bad it was. But this, I thought, had good tendencies. It's nowhere near as good as the first season. There are moments when you get into the investigation, then it feels like, this is Killer Bee, this is what I remember it being, this is what it's like. And then when we have the fight sequences, but the tone seems to be up and down. They have this investigation slow bit, but they're kind of wasting time because we only have 6 episodes, so it's much shorter than the first season. So you're like, why are you wasting time with this bit? Just move the story on. If we're only getting 6 episodes and we're not getting more, or for now, and it could take another 2 to 3 years to get the next batch, then why are you taking your time? And then it goes fast, and it feels like they've rushed a bit of storyline, and then we get an action sequence, and then we get a random side story that doesn't really pay much attention to the main arc, and then we get flashbacks with Keith, and you're like, okay, this is all good, but what's happening in the real world? And so it feels all over the place. And I like what we see, and I like the character development, but the whole time I'm thinking, why on earth have you only given us 6 episodes? Why has this taken so long? And why have you left us like that at the ending? I mean, gosh, they just start revealing things and leave us so open-ended. It's way worse than the ending of season 1. At least the season 1 had a completion. One of the things I did like is it does the timey-wimey thing where it shows us a thing that has happened in, I guess, the present, and then it kind of jumps back and forwards in time. And that doesn't always work. But within this storyline, I think it did kind of work. We had that going in, this is what has happened, now we're going to show you how we got there, and then it kind of dips in and out with various characters. It plays a puzzle piece game where it's trying to put everything together, and for the most part there is a wider arc that is put together at the end, but leaving all the threads to the side, and you're thinking, okay. I do like the animation style. I love the vibrancy of those really close-up fight sequences with the swords on the arms, just smashing into each other, the sparks, the way they show the movement and the speed at which they can fight. You wouldn't be able to see that, but the way they show that with the lines, flowing around the air, even the movements of the cars with the red lines. I love how anime does that sometimes. Some animes just don't get car driving right, as in the way it looks. I will say that the car driving in this is miraculous. Like, it's proper anime driving. Like, how do cars drive sideways on a wall that way just easily, just because you turn the wheel and your car can do that? It's anime. And as an anime, you normally you want to see certain things, like tick ridiculous characters, tick pervy characters, tick ridiculous storyline. You need some of those. It's just fan service. So you get some of that, but it is also all over the place. I do feel like this second season is going to piss off some of the fans and alienate them a bit, particularly because of the ending. I will do a spoiler ending talk discussion, but for now, I'm giving this a C+. I think I gave the first season a minus or something, maybe a B+ for Killer Bee. But I liked it, but it just really frustrated me. I don't know if you feel the same way. Let me know in the comments below. What was your favourite bit in season 2? Look out for my spoiler talking about the ending. But most of all, until next time, remember, live long on Tuesday.